I want you to cry into your Hello Kitty pillow. I want you to put your headphones on. I want you to listen to some Taylor Swift. And I want you to shake it off, you bland bitch.
What up, y'all? It's KMB, the Sexy Ninja, in the place to be for a Paper Saber universe, and this is the New World Podcast, brother. I got up and watched some NXT. May 12th, 2026. Vic and Booker on commentary. We started off with a pretty awesome tag team match, man. This Lizzie Rain, I have no idea about Lizzie. She really got me with her debut last week against Nikita Lyons. And that thunderstruck finish, oh my gosh, the knee to the head and whatnot. I'm looking out for Lizzie, and I'm rocking with Lizzie, and I can tell this crowd loves her because they're throwing them devil horns up. They're like, Lizzie Rain. And such a combination with Tatum Paxley, who is awesome as well. And they take on Zarya and Nikita. You remember Zarya's like, I don't want to do this tag team match last week. She was like, no, I'm tired of tag teams. I am ready to get that North American Championship. Zarya said, I shed Sol Ruka off of me. Now I move on. But Mr. Stone said no. He put this match together. And as it was a back and forth battle, Zarya really showed her true colors, and before Nikita could even try to tag her in, Zarya jumps off the apron and just wipes her hands and says, nope, not doing this anymore, causing Nikita to get thunderstruck. I was waiting to do that. Yes, and they got the 1 and a 2 and a 3, and Lizzie and Tatum get the win. We get Kendall Gray, almost bought her shirt this morning, but I was like, I don't have the money. Ren Sinclair backstage. Ren's hurt. Ren's like, you should just go out there and face Kalani Jordan by yourself. And Kendall Gray's like, no, I want you there. Ren's like, no, I'm gonna be a distraction. And Kendall Gray says, no, don't worry about it. You're gonna be out there with me. Then here comes Lola, causing a little friction because Lola has beef with Izzy. Everyone's gunning after that championship, and I love it. Let's keep heads on a swivel, because Kalani Jordan wants that championship. Kendall Gray wants that championship. Izzy Dame wants that championship. So I'm thinking we got a fatal four-way in our future, maybe at the Great American Bash. Next up, we have, okay, so this kind of like bugged me. Last week, just because I want to be respectful to Evil, and he has his new NXT name, and it's spelled Naraku. So, my brain would be like, Naraku. Naraku was what I was rocking with. But then I was like, let's wait until what the announcer says. Or wait until what Vic says. And I swear to God, last week they said, Naroku. And I was like, okay, all right. So I'm going to be respectful. And he takes on this dude from AAA. And even the announcer was like, Naraku, and they were saying, I was like, you just said Noroku last week. What the hell? It was bugging me. It really was. Like, when the announce team, and while they're going back and forth, they kept saying his name. I'm like, what is it? And I'm assuming Naraku, or am I wrong or am I right? Tell me in the comments below. But he after he gets the win, he tells the camera, and I'm evil. I wonder what Danhausen would think about that. Then we have EK Prosper, Sean Legacy, and Tate Wilder backstage in the locker room. We have a big match next. And then we got, who enters this Van Dux guy, whatever, I'm still trying to learn all these new names. Natty's trying to film something for LFG, and guess who gets in her face? Is Miss Parker. And I was like, whoa, Natty versus Miss Parker? Ooh, that sounds awesome. Take my money. Take it. Birthright versus EK Prosper, Sean Legacy, who I'm becoming a huge fan of, and Tate Wilder, the kid that is just trying to take any opportunity he can and just bask in the glory for himself. Because he would not tag in Sean and EK. He's the one that lost the match for this team to Birthright because he's a glory hog. Which I was like, okay, that's the story we're going to tell with him. But Birthright does get the win. over EK Prosper, Sean Legacy, Tate Wilder. And this was an awesome 3-on-3 match. This division is shaping up, and especially with all these new faces coming about. Tatum and Lizzie's backstage. Then here comes Shiloh. My wife really likes Shiloh. And he's trying to figure out Tristan Angels, who's going to make his debut next week. So I'm very excited to see what this guy can bring. Shiloh says digged up some dirt on Tristan, and he has a lot of sheep. And Lizzie knows him, says, yeah, you guess he wants some UK pageant or what? I don't know. But I want to see what Tristan Angels can do in that ring. But Lizzie gets an opportunity next week because Tatum says it's going to be me and you for the North American Championship. I was like, whoa. They're putting a lot of stock in Lizzie. So quick. She's getting a championship opportunity. I like it. And like I said, Lizzie is very talented, and that Thunderstruck is just beautiful. The culling, I think they're going to kick Sean out. That's what I got out of this. We shall see, because Izzy cannot be trusted. Mason Rook, Mr. Stone brings him out. He's going to sign his NXT contract. This guy's making big waves here already. Already talked about online. I've never seen this dude's work, but apparently he's something. So I really want to do my research on Mason Rook before he got to NXT. But he's making big waves here, already beating up Tony D'Angelo twice. And Tony comes out, he's like, hey, man, I get it. You want to make an opportunity, but doing it twice, now you're pissing me off. And before Tony can really say anything else, here comes Cam Hendricks. He comes out and attacks. And then Mason Rook takes them both out. Then he grabs the contract, and Mr. Stone's like, whoa! He signs it. He's like, here, I am now NXT, throwing up them devil horns. Yeah. Noam Dar's backstage with Moreno. I thought you said Romeo, but Moreno. Noam Dar not having that chip on his shoulder like he used to. The Supernova might be super flat. Emily is with the OTM, and I gotta say, after this interview, this barbecue, whatever, digging into the team a little bit more, I was never a fan at first. I really hated OTM, but now, hearing the backstory of him taking care of his brother after his mom died and this and that, and you just coming to it that these are real people. They display them as superstars, but they're real people at the end of the day. So I enjoyed this interview. Jackson Drake takes on Noam Dar, and this match was almost my match of the night. Almost. But, the Vanity Project, forever helping. And Jackson Drake gets the win over Noam Dar, and I know Noam Dar is going to probably go into this deep hole of depression. I see it. I feel it. It's going to happen. But as Jackson and the Vanity Project celebrate, Dark State comes in. Then we go to commercial break. We go back to Miles and Tavion. They're having their little beef. No, it's not beef, but Tavion thinks that Miles is not treating him the way he should because he's champion now. And Miles is like, man, I'm not trying to do that. But Tavion feels it, and I get it. Then we go back at Dark State. They're cutting a promo on Vanity Project saying we want a tag team match, our tag team titles back. And Mr. Stone says it's going to happen next week, which it will, which I'm like, yes! Vanity Project versus Dark State for the tag team titles. It's going to be a good time. And this ends the way it should, is in a fight. Oh, yeah. And Dark State chases off the Vanity Project. Then we get Stone backstage with Naraku. I'm just going to say it. Then says, welcome. And here comes Cam Hendricks and Mason Rook in the office. They're going to have a tag team match next week against Tony and I believe Miles? Yeah. And then Tate Wilder comes in, and he's going to have a match with Keanu Carver. Then we go to Blake with Callie Armstrong. Callie Armstrong has something to prove, and Kendall Gray goes, yeah, you did beat some people, but you didn't beat me. And I'm like, oh, okay. Now, Kalani Jordan versus Kendall Gray. Holy hell. This was awesome. Absolute cinema. Awesome match, man. Great storytelling for what we're doing here, especially the way it ended. Ren Sinclair's on the outside. She's rooting on Kendall Gray. And Jordan and Gray put on one hell of a match here. Oh my gosh, this was awesome. Back and forth battle, drama, everything you could ask for in a really solid match. And of course, Lola's watching. Izzy was watching, and then Izzy attacks Lola backstage, and it kind of just comes right into the arena. And they take out Ren, causing Kendall Gray to get a little bit of a distraction, and that's what Kalani takes advantage of to get the win over Kendall Gray. And I was like, okay, I love this. And then Lola comes out to check on Ren, and Kendall Gray gets in her face and is like, no, this is your fault, and pushes Lola. And I was like, oh, snap. And then here comes Izzy, and Izzy's standing tall above them all. And I was like, oh, the title picture is solid. And is this going to be a fatal four-way, or will we have Lola Vice versus Izzy Dame for the championship? Either way, I am happy. This was a really good NXT. May 12, 2026, Vic Booker on commentary. Match of the night, Kalani Jordan versus Kendall Gray. Watch it. Enjoy it. It's fun. Second to that is Jackson Drake versus Noam Dar. Moment of the night, Mason Rook making a name for himself. Naraku definitely showing what he's got. So a lot of good stuff here. I'm going to give it a solid 4 out of 5 for NXT. Tell me what you thought of the show. Drop those comments below. Hit that like, hit the subscribe, share it with your grandma, share it with your grandpa, share it with the bum down at Walmart. I am KMB the Sexy Ninja, and remember that the New World Podcast is for life, brother.
He's big, he's bad, and he's officially signed to NXT.